Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros. It's Drew here, and we're back with another West Coast Racers construction update thanks to our good pals over at Theme Park ERT. Make sure to go check out their channel. I'll put an iCard up in the top right as well as a link into the description. They're going to have some awesome stuff in the near future as well as also West Coast Racers construction updates. But starting this update off, you can see a ton of suit and ties looking at the site itself, which is always exciting news. But besides that, you can see a majority of the outside queue is pretty much close to being finished. You can see all of that support structure for a shade type roofing, as well as some other supports that will be showing off parts of the story of West Coast Customs, which I think is really cool. So that's what's in that planter that goes around that shaded structure, and those will have posters showing off the story for West Coast Customs. But moving into the station itself, you can see that there's water dummies inside the train vehicles as well as the cars, whatever you want to call them. But this pretty much proves that testing has begun, or that it will be beginning very, very soon. But this is fantastic to see water dummies in the vehicles themselves. And this is pretty much a procedure just to make sure it can make it around the circuit in the way it's supposed to with the weight of humans on the actual ride vehicle itself. Now, we've seen this with many coasters before, and pretty much every coaster out there has this procedure done just to make sure it can make it around the track with the weight that humans would give it before actual humans ride. And that's also just for safety precautions and things. And of course, there will have to be many cycles before any actual humans can ride West Coast Racers. But the fact that water dummies are in place inside the seats right now is just absolutely awesome news. Now, speaking of the pit stop, as we can see someone doing some work over there, it is coming along very nicely. You can see a majority of the walls are pretty much finished as of now. I'm just waiting for some awesome detail work to go into that area and potentially some screens or any type of prop that will be shown off in that pit stop experience, which should be very exciting to see what happens with it. But besides that, you can see that the exterior of the ride op booth has been pretty much finished, at least without detail work, and everything around it is looking very concrete and incredibly close to finished. Of course, there's some stuff inside that I'm sure still has some work to do that we can't see from the vantage points we can get inside the park, but everything is really coming along nicely. And before we move to the next clip, I just want to talk about how we will actually have another update tomorrow, and we'll have some very interesting information to go along with that update, so you definitely won't want to miss it. But you can see here some checking of the trains themselves, and that's always a good sign to be happening right before something like testing or even moving the trains. Now, of course, we can't really confirm testing as of right now, just because we haven't actually had any physical video evidence of it happening. But with the water dummies in place, as well as some movement from the train right here back and forth in the station, testing out the drive tires within the station, I think it is pretty safe to say that testing is pretty much here. And hopefully with that, we'll see some extra detail work showing up in the next couple weeks. And then, of course, the ride opening hopefully very soon. But you can also tell the train is moving because there is that blinking light on the pit stop side, pretty much as a warning, it would seem, just to say, hey, the train's moving. But some very exciting stuff is happening at the West Coast Racers construction site. And of course, make sure to stay tuned tomorrow for another update that will be going in depth with a lot of new things that we have learned very recently about the ride. But I do want to give a huge thanks to Theme Park ERT. Please make sure to go check out their channel and give them a like or subscribe on their newest video. They're going to have some really awesome content in the near future. And don't be surprised if you see me show up once or twice. But thank you so much for watching. It means a heck of a lot that you tune into these updates, as well as tons of other videos that I put out on the channel, including vlogs and reviews. But hopefully we'll see you back tomorrow and, of course, the day after that. But until then, we'll see you on the next ride.